What's up guys? I'm now in my old room. This is where I grew up, and today I want to show you how a house in the Netherlands looks like. I'm super excited. This is, very nostalgic for me. All my memories, my childhood memories are inside this house. But first I want to show you this. This is what I just found in my closet. And I remember 2014 when I came to Korea for the first time. I studied Korean at the Songguk University. At that time I didn't know anything about Korea. I wasn't really into the music. So when I got back home after 5 months, I wanted to buy some nice LPs. So while searching for nice music, I found this Korean LP by accident. And I never expected to find this one, especially not from this band, which is very old. So from that moment on, I was more interested in Korean music. Throughout the years, I had many different interests. I did many different things. I had many different hobbies. I always had different career ambitions, and I never expected myself to become a YouTuber. So my life has always been in some kind of roller coaster, but it brought me to where I am now, living in South Korea, having a nice wife. So as you can see, it's pretty big. It's on the attic, so it's the top floor of my parents' home. I like it. There's a lot of privacy. I have a lot of space. And if you look at here, you can see the handbook of my mother. She was wearing it at my wedding. And maybe you recognize this, but as a kid, you have certain nightmares sometimes, right? There's always this something that's very scary. When I was young, they gave me a stuffed animal, and it was always in my room. It was always watching me, and because of this animal, I had so many nights that I literally couldn't sleep, especially after watching a horror movie. This fucking animal came to life. And it's this one. It's still here. No, seriously, look at this. As you can see, I have a bass guitar, and the funny thing is, I really don't play bass guitar well. When I was 18 years old, one of my friends, he asked me for Bart, do you want to form a band? And I was like, yeah, I would like to. I love music, I love rock, but I don't know how to play an instrument. So why are you asking me? They said that doesn't matter. We can all play instruments, but we need a bass guitar player, and we think you are the right person for that. So yeah, I said yes. I bought this guitar. Bass guitar. I remember we were making our own music. We didn't cover anything, and we were having this practice room. And because I didn't understand shit of how to make music, I depended very much on the other players in the band, and they always told me like, okay, for this song, I think this sounds like a nice bass rhythm, and they told me how to play it, and that's how I learned it. I literally just knew how to play a particular song that we made. After primary school, of course, you go to middle school, to high school. At that time, I was really not a nice student. I literally just didn't care about classes. I was really good in studying, so it was not a big problem for me to pass my exams, but I was not a nice student in class. I always tried to get attention. I was noisy, I didn't listen, I was sleeping. I was just a typical bad student that you can imagine. But after high school, you suddenly have this moment that you have to decide what to do, what university you want to go to. And because I didn't really care also about my future, I chose something for which I could probably get most working opportunities. I decided to study business economics, because economics is very broad and you probably can work in a lot of companies in many different functions. And I'll explain you later what happened after that. Much of a reader, but there was one thing that I did like to read, and that's this. I started reading this when I was really young, and I never read a book in my life before, not even at school. It was second floor. Another painting. You can open it. And here I used to play so many times on the street. When I was a kid, I never stayed inside. Whenever I had the moment or the opportunity to go out, I went out. I was climbing trees, I was bothering the neighbors, or the whole neighborhood actually, playing football, building tree houses. I have two older sisters. They're older than me, so everybody is out of the house now. It's just my parents living here. So they don't need any other bedroom. So this is now the guest room. And now we go to one of my favorite rooms, and you can call it the office of my father or the study room. But what I like about this room is because it has all the old photo albums, and it's not something from this time, we have every picture digital. But whenever I want to remember something, or when I want to think about the younger years, even though I'm not that old yet, I go to this room and I check out the photo albums. You know, in the Netherlands we love pets. Usually people have dogs or cats, but because we have a few farmers in the family, we had the opportunity to get a lamb as a pet for a while. Here we have baby Bart, and I don't think I was a pretty baby. I was a little fatty. There's one particular thing that I like most of all, and that's history and war. I cannot really explain why, but I'm super obsessed by war. It's such an interesting phenomenon. Power, politics, changing borders, that has always been my interest my whole life. So if I look at the photo album, I can see that I was already interested at a very young age, and later I changed that interest in one of my hobbies, and I wanted to become an archaeologist. I bought a metal detector, found something in the ground, and I thought it was a kitchen mixer. So I picked it up, I walked back into my grandmother's home. There was a birthday party, so the whole family was inside, and I showed it to one of my uncles, and he looked at it and he's like, fuck, you just brought a grenade inside the home. Apparently at the place where I found this, there was a whole munition depot from the Second World War. So.
Beetje spannend voor jou, wil je wel zien wat er ontploft?
Ja.
Ja, het granaatje meenemen zit er niet in, hè?
Nee, dat niet.
Jammer, hè?
Ja.
Wel een leuke dag geweest voor jou, hè?
Ja, dat wel.
Vanavond op de televisie bij Omroep Brabant. Nu live op de radio, je wordt wereldberoemd, jongen.
Ja.
Bartje, die lacht en ik denk van, laat hem maar vlug klappen.
So I could, hit that red button that you always see in these cartoons, like. And then human geography for 2 years, finished my masters. I finally did the study that I love to do, has to do with history, with conflicts. Then I had to get a job. And again, I just didn't know what to do or what I wanted to do. Luckily, I did an internship during my masters, and at the company where I was working, I could stay. It was a really nice job, but I didn't feel very satisfied with what I was doing at that moment of my life. I felt like I wasn't ready to get a full-time job, to start working for the rest of my life and build up my career and career. So at some point I decided to quit, and I started traveling through Asia. At the end of the trip, when I was almost out of money, I had a decision to make. I knew if I would go back to the Netherlands, I had to find a job again, find a place to live. Still, after this whole trip, I wasn't ready for it, and I didn't feel that I could do the thing that I really want to do in the Netherlands. So I decided to go back to South Korea. Weirdly enough, I started to do YouTube, and I never imagined myself doing that. Kapchak, just suddenly found a thing in my life that I love to do. I love making videos. I love going out. I love exploring. I love reading about history or finding places with history, war, conflicts, everything that Kapchaki I could combine in my videos. So all the interests that I had my whole life are now finally coming together. What I never really realized is that the interest that I had when I was young would be something that I wanted to do also when I was old. So in between I did many different things. I explored many different fields. I tried not to care, I tried to care, I tried to do this, I tried to travel, I tried to make money, I tried not to make money. Over time you forget a lot of the things that happen in your life, and some things become just fake memories, even though they were so important for the direction that your life is taking. Kind of like the message that I want to tell you while showing my home is that I think it's really important to just follow your interests, do whatever you think is best for your life, and try not to live too much on the expectations of others, because in the end it's your life, you need to live it and not anyone else. So you need to do something that you do really like to do. And if you live on the expectations of others, often you will do something that you don't really like to do, but it satisfies the needs of others. Keep that in mind, and anyway, just do whatever is best for you. Thank you for watching, and I see you soon in Korea again for many more videos. Haru!